I never imagined my life would react that point where a single decision could change everything, not because I was reckless but because I was desperate. The eviction notice had arrived quietly, slipped under our door like a silent judgment. It was the second one. I didn't tell Kevin. I couldn't. He was still asleep beside me, unaware of how close we were to losing everything: our apartment, our safety, our peace. 3 months behind in rent, $42. 17 left in the bank, 6 years of marriage built on love, but tested by months off uncertainty. Kevin had been laid off of Feder, a company restructuring, and he hadn't been the same. Since his confidence had withered, he barely spoke no, except to apologize for not fixing it. I had done everything I could: babysitting, reselling old clothes, odd freelance work, surveys that paid incense. I even sold my engagement ring. Told myself love isn't measured in diamonds, though the groceries it bought vanished in a week. Then there was Marcuser Landlord. He wasn't cruel but cold, rarely smiled, built like a man who could carry bricks on his shoulders, and with a voice that didn't need to raise to feel heavy. He didn't offer grace. Periods, rules were rules. It was late when I found myself standing outside his apartment, heart racing, hoodie zipped, tummy chin. I knocked quietly. He opened the door immediately, shirtless, calm. Jessica said, not surprised. Can we talk? I stepped inside. His apartment was clean, cold. No photos, no signs of life, religious walls, and stillness. I know we're behind. I started. I'm not here to ask for a handout, I just need time. He nodded ons, then paused. Time doesn't pay. Billsy swallowed hard. Kevin's trying. I'm doing everything I can. I could evict you tomorrow, he said flatly, and then headed. But there's another way. I stared at him. Another way? He nodded again. One decision. Just one. The debt clears. Beauty's up to you. My heart pounded. He never said the words outright, but I understood, and I hated. That part of me froze, not in shock, but in the realization that I was even considering it. My voice caught in me throat. You're serious? Dead serious? I left in silence. I didn't sleep that night. Kevin stirred beside me, unaware. I watched him breathe, and felt the walls close. In 11 days until eviction. Mabelous. The next morning, I texted Sandra, my closest friend. You sound awful. She'll said over the phone, you always keep things together. Don't fall apart now. But I already had. That evening, Kevin came home with a familiar look on his face, another rejection too experienced. He muttered. Then he added, maybe we should leave. Sleep in the car for a while. Start over. Start over with what? I asked Ged, but I knew he had no answer when he went to bed. I stayed up. The light from my phone screen glowed in the darkness. My bank balance hadn't changed. I typed slowly, can we talk? 10 minutes later, he stood outside. Marcus' door again. He opened it without a word. You sure? I nodded, but everything inside me screamed uncertainty. What happened next wasn't glamorous. It wasn't romantic. It was quiet, detached, not violent, not cruel, but not something I wanted to relive. It was a transaction. It felt like surrender. It felt like survival when it ended. I left without speaking. Kevin was asleep on the couch. When I got home, I whispered, oh, the dark, it's done. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. The days blurred together. I tried to smile. I tried to cook. I tried to feel normal again, but food had no taste. Silence became louder than their and slip arrived. Balance. $0. No message, no comment, just cleared. Kevin noticed it. Change, something's different, he said on evening. I'm just tired. I whispered, and it was true, but not the kind off tired sleep could fix. A week later, Kevin found a job. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid. And when he told me, his face lit up like someone breathing again. After buying underwater too long, he held me and said, we made it. I hugged him back. Inside, a small part of me had cracked. I couldn't tell him, not because he'd judged him, but because he wouldn't, and that hurt even more. Sandra called again. You sound off, she said. I hesitated, then continued, just a little. I did something I never thought I would. Did it help? I think so. Pause. Then it doesn't make you a bad person. It just makes you someone who's a revid mabe. But I still didn't feel whole. Weeks passed. Marcus never said another word. I saw him once near the mailbox. Hilla. Through me, maybe to him, it was forgettable, a line crossed and left beamed, but to me it was something I'd carry quietly like a scar. No one else can see. That night, I stood in front of mirror and really looked at myself. I wasn't broken, but I wasn't the same. No, Truin just changed.